Well, my friends at Itinerant Counseling let me know recently that they're joining a monastic order. I didn't know you could do that in the 21st century, so obviously, I had a lot of questions. And well, here's the story. The Order of the Mustard Seed was started by a man called Nicholas Zinzendorf. It started a little bit like the Dead Poets Society. It was just this guy and his friends bonding over a commitment to authenticity. Their vow was simple enough: to be true to Christ, be kind to people, and spread the good news of God's love. But this vow manifested as chaos when Zinzendorf offered up some of his land to a ragtag group of refugees. And if that wasn't radical enough, he left his estate and moved in with them. This traumatized group spent 5 years mostly fighting with one another. Zinzendorf must have wondered, what am I doing with my life? But one night, revival broke out in the camp. The refugees started to forgive each other. They reconciled and made amends during an evening church gathering. That was the epicenter of their revival, as simple as it was revolutionary. Around the same time, on the enchanting campus of Oxford University, a young man was struggling with his faith. His name was John Wesley. He spent years trying to find the right method for holiness, which is where the term Methodism comes from. But he never felt close to God until one fateful night. On May 24, 1738, a friend invited Wesley to a small prayer gathering on Aldersgate Street in London. Something was different about the group he met that night. They called themselves Moravians, and they explained grace to John Wesley. He famously wrote in his journal that night that his heart had been strangely warmed. As it turns out, he had just encountered a group of refugees, friends of Nicholas Zinzendorf, who knew a lot about grace. It was this experience at Aldersgate that turned John Wesley outward towards the community and the world. Ostensibly, his own encounter with grace was too good not to share. From his mid-30s to his mid-80s, Wesley proceeded to ride approximately 5,000 miles per year on horseback, spreading the gospel to people who felt they didn't belong in stuffy religious settings. He traveled to people in fields, mines, and marketplaces, meeting them with the gospel of Jesus' grace in plain language. According to his rigorous journal notes, he traveled a total of 250,000 miles on horseback over his 50-year itinerancy. He and his fellow Oxford intellectuals at the helm of this movement were dedicated to democratizing the faith, making it free and accessible to those who needed it most. He organized circuits and societies, putting normal people in positions of power and influence. He published his spiritual reflections for anyone to read. He offended the religious establishment by giving sermons outdoors. The movement became known as the British Evangelical Revival. Eventually, it crossed the Atlantic and spawned the Great Awakening in America. It all started so simply. In Zinzendorf, we see an example of incarnational ministry. He left his home to live in a hut, centering himself in the very place of pain. Through John Wesley, we see a rugged commitment to the democratization of grace, challenging the compartments of society in order to deliver hope to the margins. In the Moravians, we witness the mystical power of reconciliation and neighbor love. So, that's the cool story behind my friends at Itinerant joining a monastic movement, the Order of the Mustard Seed. And they're really the thing. They're taking therapy out of an office and onto the road, setting up shop inside of rural church buildings throughout the state. This was interesting to investigate, to say the least, and I'm thinking about talking with my pastor to explore the possibility of bringing them to my own church next.